Pay your fair share. What does that mean?
It means that if you're one of the 55 corporations that literally paid absolutely nothing in federal income taxes in 2020, and in fact received $3.5 billion in tax refunds or rebates, or tax refunds, I should say, maybe you should pay your fair share. But here's the thing, if the tax code is written in a way where corporations can legally take advantage of loopholes and incredibly low effective corporate tax rates, they're gonna do it, right? So it's one thing to say pay your fair share, it's another thing to actually write a tax code that is a little more equitable and ensures that everyone is in fact paying their fair share.
Ben, what's pay your fair share mean?
I mean, the obvious answer would be a flat tax, but the longer answer is that the United States has one of the most progressive income tax systems on planet Earth. Most of the systems in, for example, Northern Europe are far less progressive. The top tax rate kicks in a lot lower on the income scale because you have to pay for the large-scale social services. The people who are at the top of the income bracket in the United States, the top quintile, essentially pays all net taxes in the United States. Not some, not most, all. And the reason for that is because there are tax transfers, and the transfer of payments that are inherent in public services do not accrue to the people at the top of the tax bracket. They accrue to everybody else who's receiving that sort of funding. When we talk about higher taxes on corporations, we do not have one of the world's lowest corporate tax rates. We are somewhere in the middle. Look at the OECD countries. We are certainly not the lowest on the totem pole in terms of our corporate tax rate. In fact, right-wing sources like the Heritage Foundation will say that it is much friendlier to do business in places like Denmark or Sweden in many cases than it is to do business in the United States.
Tax rate's pretty high in Denmark and Sweden.
It is, the personal income tax rate is very high in Denmark and Sweden. The corporate tax rate is basically near or on par with that of the United States. If we were to raise our corporate tax rate the way that President Biden is talking about, we'd actually have a higher corporate tax rate than China currently does.
You're going back?
Yeah.
On the taxes?
Yes.
Oh my God, I'm falling asleep,
the
Sitch.
longer answer is that the United
Well, no, Ben said something.
Ensures that everyone is in fact paying their fair share.
Ben, what's pay your fair share mean?
I mean, the obvious answer would be a flat tax, but the longer answer is that the
Sitch is pro flat tax, just so you guys know. He's all in favor of the flat
No,
tax.
not even close.
The United States has one of the most progressive income tax systems on planet Earth. Most of the systems in, for example, Northern Europe are far less progressive. The top.
Look at that, good. Sitch yelled good at the progressive taxes.
Okay, to be clear, when he says progressive taxes, he means that there's tax brackets that as you earn more, you pay more. That's what progressive taxation means. Yeah, that's good.
Says the
flat
guy
tax is stupid.
Says a guy who's in zero fucking income, zero state tax land, and to the guy who's in progressive tax land,
Well,
he's like,
good.
good,
That, Adam.
good.
Well, he's
good.
talking about federal. He's talking about federal income. To be
Stick
fair,
it to Adam. Who cares? As long as I don't pay it, good.
Yeah, fuck you.
Tax and spend liberal right here.
Yeah, that's your state's decision, okay?
Straight
and
up
also, he's
tax
talking about the
and spend.
federal income tax, smart guy.
Tax and spend liberal right here.
The tax rate kicks in a lot lower on the income scale because you have to pay for the large-scale social services. The people who are at the top of the income bracket in the United States, the top quintile, essentially pays all net taxes in the United States. Not some, not most, all. And the reason for that is because there are tax.
They have all the money.
Literally, I know.
The reason for that is they have all the money.
I know.
They literally have all of the money.
Did you know that all the people?
transfer.
You know that all the taxes come from all the people that have all the money. This is a shock.
I know. Amazing. Why don't people with no money pay the taxes, Sitch?
This is shock. This we've uncovered a conspiracy here.
Payments that are inherent in public services do not accrue to the people at the top of the tax bracket. They accrue to everybody else. Not some, not most, all. And the reason for that is because there are tax transfers, and the transfer of payments that are inherent in public services do not accrue to the people at the top of the tax bracket. They accrue to everybody else who's receiving that sort of funding. When we talk about
this is
it's still bullshit. Anyway, go ahead.
Well, he uses very specific language to kind of worm around the issue here. Okay. And we hear this time point a lot, like, oh, the richest people that pay all the taxes, they don't get any of this money back. They don't get anything back for their taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me, you don't get anything back? Did you think that the country of America and the buildings and infrastructure and society that you live in, did that just pop out of the grass wholesale by fucking magic?
We built this, Sitch. What are you talking about?
Oh,
you didn't build this.
People built a city and a society that requires funding to keep going. Oh my God, what a fucking crazy idea here.
Yeah.
And Ben has repeated this stupid fucking talking point again and again. If you're wealthy in America, what that means is that the rules of our society have helped you more than they've helped everyone else that's not rich in America. Okay. So obviously the people who are, quote, winning the game of America by being wealthy should have to pay more to keep the game of America going. This isn't a difficult concept. It's just so angering, so triggering to me when people only conceptualize like, oh, well, because I don't get a fucking welfare check back from the government, I'm not getting anything from my taxes. It's like you're getting the fucking society that you live in. The fact that you can drive to your work and not have not have to pay the banditos, a toll and have to give up your daughter to them to drive to work. Okay, that's what you're paying for. That's what taxes are paying for. You're paying for society to be stable.
Yeah, true. Well, also you could say like, who uses the roads more? You driving your car to work or Amazon?
Right.
Who do you think? Who do you think is a bigger user of that public service, which is the roads?
That's true.
Yeah.
We have a celebrity in the chat.
Vosh's anal beads.
Vosh's anal beads. Vosh's anal beads are back for $20. Thank you so much. Says Adam, are we still on to meet up this Tuesday?
Oh no, we aren't.
I'm off work at 7 and I know this great taco place we can get dinner at, but I can't stay out too late or else Vosh will be mad at me. Let me know, bro.
No way. You're Vosh's anal beads.
Adam, you can't ghost Vosh's anal beads.
No.
He's been a good supporter of the show
You're
for
staying
months
with
now.
Vosh.
Okay.
You're staying with Vosh.
I can't have a heart.
No.
Okay.
I draw the line.
Let Vosh's anal beads into your heart or some other place of your body.
Never gonna happen.
Joe the Mig for $20 says, Anna here is the literal personification of a Bailey to all of her nonsense on TYT. True. I got permabanned from Twitter for telling a tanky that they aren't going to like the gulag they advocate for. Keep up the good work. That's stupid that you guys.
So many people get banned from Twitter.
No.
It's scary.
Yes.
Higher taxes on corporations. We do not have one of the world's lowest corporate tax rates. We are somewhere in the middle. And look at the OECD countries. We are certainly not the lowest on the totem pole in terms of our corporate tax rate. In fact, right-wing sources like the Heritage Foundation will say that it is much friendlier to do business in places like Denmark or Sweden in many cases than it is to do business in the United States.
Tax rate's pretty high in Denmark and Sweden.
It is, the personal income tax rate is very high in Denmark and Sweden. The corporate tax rate is basically near or on par with that of the United States. If we were to raise our corporate tax rate the way that President Biden is talking about, we'd actually have a higher corporate tax rate than China currently does. The notion that corporations ought to be paying tax at all, in my view, is mistaken given the fact that
listen. I don't have a strong stance on the corporate income tax thing.
Because you haven't researched it enough.
I haven't researched it. I don't really, it's not a thing I've really thought about. I've heard pretty good arguments on both sides. So if people want to be against it or lower it or raise it, whatever, okay, that's fine. But don't compare it to China, Ben. Come on. The country where, like, if you make too much money, the government will just seize your assets. Like,
they don't have stable property rights in China, Ben.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
Stay away.
income is immediately either reinvested in the company or passed on to people who immediately pay all of that tax. By the time you actually receive your income in this country, the income's been taxed about 7 different ways. Right? You're getting taxed through the corporation, then it's passed on to you as salary, which is taxed. If you invest it in the stock market and then you sell your stock, that is taxed as capital gains tax. When you die, the government taxes that as well. So how many times can you tax the same dollar before people begin to...
How does the government tax you when you die?
So, well, yeah,
does the government send you a
bill in the afterlife?
Yeah. Because I got to tell you, after I'm dead, I'm not opening that bill.
What are they going to do?
That bill.
What are they going to do?
I know. I'm not paying it. Fuck them.
But see, this is the kind of dumb tax nonsense strawman number 2.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is that the rich don't benefit from, society and shouldn't have to pay taxes. And then the second is, all your money is taxed so many times. Money isn't taxed. People are taxed.
Transactions are taxed.
Yes,
Yeah.
transactions. When money changes hands, people are taxed. Now,
That's
listen.
called the velocity of money. Did you know that, Sitch?
I did know that.
Yeah, I'm a
I did
fucking
know that.
economist now.
Listen, if you want to advocate for less people to be taxed in certain situations, that's fine. But don't give me this bullshit argument about, oh, the money is taxed so many times. As if like the dollar itself has some kind of agency and is like paying taxes to the fucking government. People are taxed when money changes fucking hands. It's that simple.
Yeah. Mommy wants to tax us. Daddy does it. Woo!